Hey troops, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. I'm a former commando from the United Kingdom, and today we're going to be breaking down some combat footage, the first videotaped combat use of the Barrier ATGM for the BTR-4. It's fighters of the 92nd Brigade. They destroyed basically a Russian T-80 BV with troops inside it as well. That was at the back end of September, I believe this footage was. So we're going to break down what actually a BTR-4 is, why it's effective, and the skiff missiles that they utilize, and within the BTR-4, just how effective they are on the battlefield, troops. So let's get straight into that today. Before we do, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Join all of the relevant groups below, description. Let's get into it, troops. So, ATGM. These here, it's obviously, this is also known as a skiff or Stunner P. It's a Ukrainian-made anti-tank guided missile system developed in 2010 or so, in and around that. I couldn't find an exact date. It was by Lux Design Bureau. The guidance device of the skiff is developed and manufactured by Belarusian Design Bureau, and this thing is designed to destroy modern armor targets with combined carrier or monolithic armor, including explosive reactive armor, ERA. This thing's very, very effective on the battleground, especially when you're dealing with tanks and stuff like that, where they're heavily armored. They're using different forms of armor and stuff like that. How is this deployed? It's deployed through one of these. It's a BTR-4. There's loads of different variants of these guys, okay, around the globe. We all have similar in design, but as you can see, it's a semi-armored vehicle. It's not using tracks, it's using wheels for maneuverability and stuff like that. This is a pretty good bit of kit. And I believe that this 8x8 wheeled infantry fighting vehicle has been proven to be very effective by Ukrainian ground forces. That can be moved across the ground pretty quick, deployed out pretty quickly to destroy tanks, basically. You can take the tank off the battlefield, you're going to do pretty well, troops. So that's a little bit of context into what we're actually going to be watching today before we get into it. So let's see what this is all about then, troops. So I don't know if that is the BTR or if that's the tank they're fighting at the moment. I think that's, yeah, that's obviously the tank in question. See, this is the thing when we're speaking about tactics and stuff like that. That tank there, out in what I would class as relatively open ground, especially when we're utilizing drones on the battlefield, okay? Drones are very, very important. They can relay information back real time. So these guys are out there in an armored vehicle, chilling out, all right? Looks as if they've been doing burnouts in the mud there. Probably is having a bit of a break, but none of them are wearing helmets for, you know, protection. And it's, yeah, a little bit too open for me. In Britain, in the United Kingdom military, I can only say that we would be a lot more professional in doing breaks as such like this. We certainly wouldn't be outside of the of that bun line, that bush line there, because that's going to provide direct cover. These guys are wide open. And the drone spotted that straight away. So here we are again. The tank is being used on what I would describe a main road system, okay? A main point of communication. Now, the thing that you've got to use and understand here, if we look to the left in the field, you'll understand and see straight away that there's tracks on that field. There's tracks on that field because, you know, they've probably thought, let's just use, let's try and cut corners, let's get across the ground a lot quicker. The only problem with using main road systems is everyone else is using those main road systems as well. Why is that problematic? Well, you're prone to ambushes for a start. We've seen how effective Ukraine is with ambushes at this moment in time. Very, very effective, guys. You can take, you know, 4 or 5 guys on Ukrainian side and take out an entire company's worth of individuals with the right planning and preparation for that ambush. No different to this. It might be a tank, but it's not indestructible. And we're going to find out in a few seconds why. Coming up to a bit of a choke point here, you know, a bit of a junction, as we can see. And due to the tracks, it looks as if this is being used all the time. And that drone surveillance footage is picked up on that. And I'm guessing we've got the BTR-4 lying in wait with the skiff anti-tank missiles. Right, the BDP, right there is... Boom. Oh, yeah, we see that? That's where it launched from. So it launched from, I don't know if you can see my mouse, I think you can. in a concealed position, waiting, literally lying in wait. You can see it's a form of ambush. They've waited for that that vehicle, that enemy vehicle, to come down to that main choke point. As soon as you see it, boom, it's let rip, it's went. And they still remain relatively concealed. Bearing in mind, that tank won't have known directly where it's been hit from just yet. So they're in a real tricky position here. What would I have done differently? Well, I wouldn't have allowed my tank crew to go down a main road system so frequently, because bearing in mind all of these tracks and stuff, if they're not made by you, they're made by the enemy, and if they see loads of tracks, then that means the enemy's active there. So Ukraine's probably picked up on that and thought, hey, let's get surveillance out, let's monitor. We've probably painted a battle picture of the time frame of when these enemy vehicles are coming down here. Let's lie in wait and capitalize on that. I would not be using that road system. I'd be taking different routes to and from my positions, just to make things a little bit more difficult for whoever wants to kill me effectively. It's getting a round off there. Boom, just as it came around the corner. Didn't even see them lying in wait there. Yeah, so that's heavily damaged. It doesn't know what it's... They don't know where they're looking at, to be fair. That's a big no. The soldiers had sped up are running out the way. We've got a guy on the ground there at the moment. He looks like he's pretty badly injured. The problem with this bit here is, what I'm seeing, is his oppo, his friends, have just basically left him. They've just basically left him and ran away. Yeah, that's been completely destroyed. Extremely effective is the BTR-4A, I think that was used, where they're using these anti-tank guided missiles. Really useful in taking out, obviously, in this case, a tank. Now, you might think, well, you know, was it a lucky shot? Probably not. I think active surveillance and reconnaissance and smart professional soldiering is what's making Ukraine tactically more apt for the battle space in Ukraine. And that's where Russia is lacking. The lack of professionalism is showing in everything they do. It's not just one part of what they do is lacking professionally, okay? It's everything that they're doing now. Yeah, that's been taken out big time. And the eyes in the sky is still telling a massive story. So that was the BTR-4 in action, 8x8 wheeled infantry fighting vehicle, very effective for combat reasons on the battle space. I think since September we've seen a lot of ambush style tactics being utilized, especially in the open plain fields like what we've seen there, loads of tracks and stuff like that. It's very easy to get complacent on the battleground, especially when you're lacking in professional etiquette, okay? If you're gonna not wear your helmet one day and then, you know, what's next? I'll not wear my body armor when I go for a piss the next, and then when I want something to eat, we can just stop here and not come and conceal our vehicle. These little things that slip and slide make things worse in the long run, because if you let one thing slip, you're going to let a lot of things slip, and we're seeing that now with the professional quality of the Russian soldiers on the battleground there. That's why Ukraine being so effective with Western support with so little. So yeah, a bit of footage there. Hopefully you enjoyed this style of content, me breaking down the content from a professional standpoint where I can add value as a commando. I really enjoy breaking these videos down. If you want to see more of stuff like this without me blurring out pictures and stuff like I had to, there, censorship reasons and guidelines. I don't want to break any rules on YouTube. If you want to see the uncensored versions of that, then click the link below, join the Patreon. We have battle breakdowns of combat footage every single week, and we've released our first one a few days ago, and it was received really well. If you want to join the Patreon, please do, guys. And yeah, want to see more stuff like this, smash that like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, troops. But wherever you are, stay safe and have a good one. Peace.